And for all you guys who say, oh, if you don't know how to replace a battery, you shouldn't be working on a car. Well, we all started somewhere. We're replacing the battery on this LX450 today. I didn't get to grab video of the removal of the battery. It's already out, but I'll show you how a new one goes in. The old battery is back here. We pulled it out because you got to give it to the place that you purchase your new battery from as a core, or else they'll charge you a core fee, which is usually 20 to 35 bucks, depending on where you go, sometimes even higher. This one's okay, and it came with the truck, but this truck's going up for sale, and I want to make sure the new owner has everything so that this thing will run for several more years, at least for another couple years, maintenance free. We already did a bunch of stuff. I bought this in very, very good condition, but I went ahead and replaced the two hoses up there, the PCV valve and the grommet, distributor cap and rotor, brand new OEM genuine Toyota plug wires, the Toyota Denso Iridium spark plugs, air filter, belts, what else? Batteries going in, hood struts, the trunk hatch struts in the back, oil change, of course, and a few little other odds and ends. Overall, this thing is in immaculate condition, but again, whoever is purchasing it, I want to make sure that they're getting it from me exactly how I would take care of my own vehicles, which is religious maintenance and replacing stuff well ahead of when it needs to be replaced or before any sort of failure. So I'm going to go grab the new battery. I don't like these interstate batteries. I know a lot of people are a fan of them. My preference and what I've had great luck with over the years are the Duracell batteries, both for marine applications, for our boats, and for our vehicles. They work great. They generally have better cold cranking amps, and overall, I've had really good luck with them. Best place to get the Duracell AGMs, pretty much everywhere across the board, is going to be fairly expensive. If you have a Sam's Club membership, go to Sam's. They have great prices on them. You'll pay less for that than you will for a junky battery from your local auto parts store, and they're far better quality, in my opinion. Personally, I'm not a battery guy, but I've had great luck with them. Been using them for over 10 years. So let's go get the battery, and I'll show you how the new one goes in and where the brackets and everything fit. If you haven't installed one of these before, the battery stays are a little bit tricky to just get in and get situated. And for all you guys who say, oh, if you don't know how to replace a battery, you shouldn't be working on a car. Well, we all started somewhere. So I hope this video is helpful. And if you've never done one of these, it's a good way to learn. Here we've got our new battery. Let's get it put into the tray. We've got the battery in the tray. Make sure you've got the posts facing that direction, not this way. Your cables aren't going to reach if they're on the wrong side. And also, if you're familiar with batteries, or if you've mistakenly gotten the wrong one at times in the past, you'll know that the post orientation matters. A Group 27F battery, which is this one, has the positive on this side, negative on this side. A Group 27 has them reversed. So pay attention when you're buying your battery. Make sure you're getting the right one. Perfect fit here, real snug. Make sure you've got it far forward enough to where it's past this little lump, right there. That way it's held in place. Next thing we're going to do is put the battery posts on the terminals. The battery terminals on the posts. I always like starting with the positive side first and then the negative afterwards. There's different schools of thought for that. People have different reasons they want to do it one way or the other. I've always done the positive first, then the negative. That way you have less of a spark and less of a chance of any sort of arcing when you're connecting the posts. I'm going to leave the plastic piece on the posts until I've gotten this one on. That way this is not sitting here touching. And once we get that one on, then I'll put the negative terminal on. Before we do that, we're going to get the battery stay put on here. So what we want to do is take this guy and get it through that slot there, and then the other hook and get it through the slot on this side. Get the top ends through the bracket that goes on the end, and just start the nuts by hand. And then once you've started both of them and things aren't wobbling and wiggling all around, then you can tighten them down. Now that we've got the bracket loosely on here, I'm going to go ahead and get it lined up on the edge of the battery right there and get this snug down, get that snug down. You're not tightening this against any sort of a hard surface. You're going to be pulling on the two holes there on either side where those J-hooks go through, so don't go crazy with that. Just snug it down enough to where it's holding the battery in place and your battery's not wobbling around and you've got enough of a firm hold on it. And then once you do that, what you want to do is get the second set of nuts, which you hopefully still have with your truck, and put them over the top of these, and then use the second set of nuts to lock that down. You want to hold the bottom one with an open-ended wrench, and then the top one, tighten it down against it, and that'll lock both of the nuts together so that they don't tend to back off or anything. And then once you do that, get your two battery terminals put on the posts, positive first, negative second, and you're all done. If you've not changed the battery before in a car, I hope this video was helpful for you. And for everybody else, it's good reference just to see where everything lines up. The same procedure is very similar for all kinds of different vehicles from the 90s and earlier. If you're working on any newer cars, especially German cars, don't go swapping the battery out before you do some research online. A lot of the newer BMWs, Mercedes, the other cars we have, an X7, our old X6, our old S-Class, you can't just go swapping the battery out without having the computer to hook up to the vehicle to reset things so that the car understands that the new battery is there, the difference, and how to track it. But on any of these older Toyotas, Nissans, Chevys, domestic cars, etc., and even a lot of the newer ones, you can simply swap the battery out. Just make sure you do a little bit of research online first. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, and see you next time.